Good morning. Sebastian is off to school. Jax is awake and actually out of bed. I am bundled up in comfy clothes and slippers because I'm not walking the dog. It's the worst day of my period and we're just gonna be here trying to survive. Sebastian had drama because, well, at first he wanted long sleeves and I'm like, that's good because it's finally gonna be a little chilly. But then the only clothes he had down here, he was already downstairs because he followed me down, were what he's worn this week, which is all short sleeves. So he's like, oh, I want my Power Ranger shirt, which I gave him for Christmas from the thrift store. And then he refused to wear a hoodie, and it's freezing out, and people were in winter coats and hats. I put the hoodie in his bag because he's gonna have outside recess, and he's gonna be cold. Anyway, he's off at school and it's time for me to do breakfast and lunch for Jax. And I have a lot of dishes to deal with from cooking 2 kinds of ravioli last night, but that's for future Stephanie. Hello again, my lovely people. Haven't spoken since this morning, but here we are. It's 8:20 and it is bedtime for Sebastian. We just did a big cleanup because he brought almost every stuffed animal he owns downstairs and put him in the trampoline. It was a family effort, both the boys and I, to get everything back up where it went. But today, my expectations were low, very low. So I didn't feel very productive, but my expectations were low. I hear Picky coming up. He probably wants water. I'm not going to bed. He's coming up with brother. Jax is going to watch him till I'm done with bedtime. Anyway, yeah, worst day of my period, and I was fully expecting to need a nap or curl up in fetal position or just be completely immobile. And while I didn't walk the dog, I felt a little better than that. I got a little bit of drawing done. I got a little bit of knitting done. I updated my computer. Apparently it was a major release behind, and that's why it had stopped saying I had updates, I guess. I don't know. But then that triggered a wave of all my apps needing to be updated. So that was a big chunk of my day. I guess that's productive, even if it didn't feel productive. Hey, look, my bangs actually dried in a single curl, except for a few frizzy little bits that escaped. This is what I go for instead of just a frizz bomb. But yeah, I dressed for comfort, even though these jeans don't feel super comfy. I feel like I have a diaper on, you know? It's just, I'm uncomfortable. It's not fun being a girl. But yeah, my day was very quiet. I didn't go anywhere except for the bus stop twice. And Danny went out after work to go be with Yvonne at his place. And yeah, I ordered some dinner for the kids and I. They wanted Habit, which is a burger place that Danny doesn't like. I like it, except that I ordered the fries to be easy salt, which means just a tiny bit, and they were so salty I couldn't eat any of them. I'm really glad that Jax and I decided to share one small fry, because that would have been a lot of money wasted otherwise. I did let them get milkshakes because I justified it because Jax just found out that he got 100% on his latest honors science test, which is amazing. He didn't even study for that one. We're planning on studying together for his DNA test. He's still halfway through the unit, but it's the last test of the quarter. And he was at a 92, an A-, so I was like, oh, that's so tight, let's study together. Now he's at a 95, got a little bit more comfort room. But yeah, we'll probably still study together. And his math teacher is asking him to consider moving to Algebra 1. Now, when we were registering him, the biggest thing we weren't sure about was math, whether to place him in the standard grade 7 foundations of algebra, I think, or Algebra 1, which kind of gets you on a better track if you're going into tech stuff in high school. And even though he's good at math, I had a list. I went down everything that's involved. I think some math teacher sent me a list. I was going through the guidance counselor. They sent me a list of everything that he should already know to go into Algebra 1, and there were some red marks where he hadn't done that. Like, I compared his curriculum last year to that. Ultimately, we were like going back and forth. It's like, I don't want this to be this huge burden to him. It's his first year in. There are options if you really wanted to push. You can take it over the summer. You can just rock it and get skipped ahead and stuff like that. So I didn't realize they would say something midway through the year. Like, we're almost exactly halfway through. The second quarter is about to end. So I have questions. How do they do that? How do you just suddenly move up halfway through the year? This isn't like moving to honors where they just dive deeper and expect more participation. Holy moly, brain farts. Yeah, they expect more participation. I'm literally reading that word in my mind to say it right. Yeah, this is like a totally different class. So would he go in and like not know what's going on because they've been learning the Algebra 1 for half of a school year? Like, how does that work? And also, he wouldn't want to miss out on having the same teacher. She doesn't teach Algebra 1 at the exact time he has math, so he would have to take it at a different time, which means one of his other classes would have to get moved, which he already had to do to move honors, and that sucked because one of his friends, he lost the class with him. and I think he's in his current math class. So moving out of that math, he loses both classes with him. And then it's just, he doesn't want to change his class. So that's going to be the hardest part emotionally. So I don't know if I should email a teacher or if he should. I feel like I should. I don't know. Maybe her and the counselor. The counselor's got to be sick of me. I don't know. Maybe just her for now. So that's stuff to think about, but I got him a milkshake. All that to say, I got him a milkshake. And then I showed Sebastian how to make mandalas on my iPad, and he just wanted to do that. So he did a bunch of those after dinner while I knitted. That knitting is getting so hard. Like, the hardest thing is if a stitch drops or I misdo something, it's not straight knitting, so it's really hard to fix. Minor things I've been able to fix, but some of the more complicated stitches, like I just had to undo tink, like knit backwards. If you take the word knit and write it backwards, it's tink. I had to tink back a round and a half just because I couldn't figure out how to reconstruct one of the fancy stitches when it fell off my needle. So I'm a little worried that there's going to be a lot of special areas of this blanket, and it's a gift. I'm hoping not. We'll see. It's getting a little hard to see because it's a square, but it's on a round needle, and it's getting a little too big for that round needle. So it's like, it looks like I'm making a hat. It's like bulging up. But my next largest needle of that size is double the length, and I don't think it would work. I'll have to figure that out tomorrow, but my finger feels so bruised. I'm so sore. I'm a little bit like, I need a break, but I don't know. Anyway, I feel gross. I'm gonna put on pajamas and continue to feel gross. I feel like I'm wearing somebody else's skin on my body. I don't know if that happens to anybody while they have their period. I feel like I'm wearing somebody else's skin and I don't like it. It's awful. This month, I did not have my body magically go back to normal when my period started. The hormones have just been all off, and it's just because of my age. They say for like 10 years before you even start like menopause, you go through all sorts of craziness. So I think this month is just craziness. Anyway, I'm trying to keep myself upbeat. Haven't been upbeat all day, but it is what it is. Thank you to the friends who've reached out. I appreciate you. I still haven't even contacted family. I need to get on it, but you know, sometimes it's just hard to reach out. I'm going to do bedtime now. He's in there sorting Legos, and I think he probably got distracted, but we'll go and say goodnight there. So friends, we'll see you tomorrow. I'm saying goodnight. I thought you got distracted. Good night. Stay safe. Be kind. Are they going to bionicle their hands? Get the guy on your chair. Stay safe. Be kind. And don't forget.
Bionicle your hand.
Wash your hands.
Shoot the camera.